Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the live session of IILT. My name is Hariam Krishna and one of the registered certified trainers of IILT and one of the OET trainer here. So as per the format, we are going to have a live session on OET subtext listening, and we are introducing the test format of listening. So when you get a listening module in your OET exam, how the questions, what are the number of questions that you get, what is the maximum time, how the questions are divided, what kind of questions that you get, how you can answer, that is the kinds of things that we are going to discuss today for our live session. Okay, I hope everyone can understand or everyone can follow what we are going through it. Okay, so we are going to start our live session, so we'll wait for 1 minute so that the other members shall also join. Yes. Okay, so we will start away. Okay, so we wait for the others to join, then we will move for that. Yes, so as per we have told, our session is about OET listening, and we are going to introduce the exam format of the thing. Okay, so let's go for our first slide. Okay, so look at the first slide. So it is about OET listening, and we are going to have a complete overview on the listening module. So we are not going deep regarding the tips and strategies that we will be scheduling a class later. Here, as I've already told in the beginning, we are going to have a description or a discussion regarding the exam format. So look at the first slide. It is given OET listening and overview of our listening module. Okay, so for everyone who is viewing this particular thing, you can right away use the chat box in order to convey your messages or to convey your answers or something. If you want to ask something, you are free to go for your chat box. Okay, so let's move to the second slide. So it is about OET listening and regarding the total number of questions and what is the maximum time that you can get for a listening module. Okay, so look at the next slide. OET listening, the total number of questions, as everyone know, it is about 42 questions, and the maximum time you can get to complete the entire 42 questions is 45 minutes. I'm not telling that the 45 minutes is a fixed time. For every reading module, you won't be getting that 45 minutes, but the maximum time you get is 45 minutes. So it is same like the reading module with the same number of questions. For both reading and listening, we have questions 42, but regarding the time, we have for listening is 45 minutes. Okay, I hope till now everyone is clear. Okay, now let's move to the detailed session of listening. Look at the next slide. Okay, so we have already mentioned we have a total of 42 questions. So now we are going to discuss how that the entire 42 questions are divided. So you can see right away, the listening module contains three parts: part A, part B, and part C. So to divide that 42 questions, we have three sections for your listening module, that is part A, part B, and part C. Why? We are equally, or we are dividing the entire 42 questions into three parts. Part A contains some number of questions, part B contains some number of questions, and part C contains the rest of the questions. That makes the total of 42. Okay, look at the slide. For part A, the total number of questions that we have is 24. So among that 42 questions, for our first section called part A, we have 24 questions, and that 24 questions we are dividing into two different extracts, where the first extract contains 12 questions and the second extract contains the next 12 questions, makes a total of 24 questions. So what is a nutshell? Part A contains a total of 24 questions, which is divided into two sections or two parts. The first part contains the first 12 questions, and the next part contains the next 12, which is numbered from 13 to 24. First section 1 to 12 question number, and the next section question number 13 to 24. Clear? And regarding the mode of question that you get for part A, or how you want to answer that question, is fill in the blanks. What does that mean? You will be given an extract, you will be given a descriptive extract, and in between or towards the middle, towards the beginning or towards the end, you will be given some dashes in between, and you have to fill those dashes with a word or a short phrase. So that is something that I mean by giving it as fill in the blanks. So this is how you have to answer the part A section of OET listening. So total number of questions 24, which are divided into two extracts. First extract contains first 12, and the next extract contains the next 12. And how you need to answer it is like fill in the blanks type of questions. Clear? Okay, so I hope everyone is clear to you. Yes. Okay, now we move to the next slide. So the next slide is about the exam format of part A. So while you are there for your OET exam, how you get questions, or what is the exam format that you get for part A? Okay, so look, exam format for part A. So I've told you in the beginning that it is a listening module. So what is the primary understanding that we have? It's like we will hear something on our ears using a headphone, and based on the listening we have to write the answer. So that is the entire summary of our listening module. We hear something and we need to, based on our listening, we need to write the answers, or we need to mark the answers. And since OET is a professional kind of test, English language test, whatever thing that you listen or the audio that you listen will be strictly related to a health topic. It could be a doctor and a nurse, it could be a nurse and a patient, it could be a doctor and a patient, a nursing manager, or someone who is related to a health topic, who is a health professional, who will be talking in a specified health setting, and that dialogue will be made as an audio, and that will be given as your audio for your listening module. Clear? So for part A, what kind of audio that you hear? It is a patient-led dialogue. A patient will be talking to a doctor. So why we say it as a patient-led dialogue? Most of the answer, or the majority of the answer that you want to fill for part A, will be from the patient side. That doesn't mean that you should not listen to what the doctor or what the health professional is telling, but the majority of the answer will be from the patient side. Might be the patient is coming for a consultation with a doctor, and the doctor will be asking regarding his past medical history, regarding the present illness, the current symptoms, regarding the treatment that you can get, what are the home remedies or something that you can get, that you can take, and that will be made into a conversation, and that will be given in your part A audio. Okay, so before that you listen to the audio, you have 30 seconds to read the extract. Look at the options, or look at the point number 2. 30 seconds to read the 12 questions before the audio begins with a beep sound. What does that mean? If you simply listen and will go to the extract, it will be something difficult for you. It will be a difficult task for you. So before the audio begins, you need to get familiar with what is the extract. What is given in your question paper. So in order to understand that particular thing, before the audio starts, you'll be getting 30 seconds, and you can utilize that 30 seconds by reading the entire description for the questions 1 to 12. And for that, you get 30 seconds to read the first 12 questions, and after that 30 seconds, you will be given a beep sound. You will hear a beep sound on your microphone or on your headphone, and that indicates that we are going to start with the conversation. I hope that is clear to you. So before starting the conversation or before starting the audio, you'll be getting 30 seconds, and after that you'll be given a beep sound, or you'll be hearing a beep sound, and that indicates you are going to start the audio. Okay, and I've mentioned in the beginning part, the mode of answering is fill in the blanks of type of questions, and look at particular thing, look at option, look at the third marking, write the exact word or phrase as you listen in the audio. Which means while filling the blanks, we have to complete that filling by the exact word. How you listen into the audio, use the exact word or a phrase and write it exactly in the fill in the blanks. Okay, and the fourth point is be aware of paraphrasing. What do you mean by paraphrasing? Paraphrasing means you have a word and you can't think that you'll be hearing the same word in the audio itself. So instead of that word, they'll be given the paraphrased form. Paraphrased form means a word similar to, or a sentence that is similar to what you hear in the audio. Okay. For example, if the word is medication, a paraphrased form like medicines, tablets, or something that will be given in our question format or in our question booklet. So beware of paraphrasing. And the fifth point is something important. Minor spelling mistakes are okay, but you have to remember one thing, no distortion of the meaning and pronunciation. What does that mean? When you fill, so what is the problem that you're facing? You are listening to something and you are filling the answers. So it will be difficult for you to understand the exact slang or the dialect in which the people are talking in your audio. So you hear a word, and sometimes when you write the word into your question booklet, you may make some kinds of spelling mistakes. But the thing is that minor spelling mistakes are okay. But if you're making a spelling mistake, you have to make sure two things. It should not change the meaning or the pronunciation. For example, if the word is feet, F-E-A-T, is something that you have to write in our answer. If the answer is F-E-A-T and if you write F-E-E-T, then the meaning changes. That kind of spelling mistakes are not allowed for the reading or listening module. But you can have minor spelling mistake, and the next thing is that if you make some spelling mistake, it should not change the pronunciation of the exact word. Okay, so I hope that is clear. Spelling mistakes is okay, but it should not change or it should not distort the meaning and the pronunciation. Okay, so this is the exam format of part A. If I sum up, total number of questions 24, divide into 2 sections, 12 each. For each extract, you listen to audio. So two audios that you will be listening. And what kind of audio it could be? It could be a patient-led dialogue with a health professional. And before starting the audio, in order to get familiar with the extract, you will be given 30 seconds to read the extract, and it will be indicated by a beep sound that they are going to start the audio. And while filling, and the mode of question is fill in the blanks type of question, you have to fill a word or a phrase as exactly that you hear in your audio. And when you write the answers, it should not make huge spelling mistakes. Minor spelling mistakes is okay, but it should not change or distort its meaning or the pronunciation of the word that you are writing. Clear? Fine. So till it's clear, you can use the chat box. If you have any doubts, you can comment it. It's just the exam format. You are not going to too much detail. That will be given in another live session like this. Okay. Okay, if that is clear, we'll move to the next part. We have already discussed the listening module contains 3 parts, part A, part B, and part C, and we have completed how the exam format is for part A, and now we'll move to part B. Okay. So when we come to part B, we have already mentioned we are dividing the entire 42 questions into 3 sections. So when we divide those questions, part A contains 24. So remaining 6 questions makes up the part B session. So, if I tell in another way, part B contains 6 questions. Okay, and regarding the listening audio that you get for part B, look at the third point. The audios are 6 dialogues or a monologue in a preferred health setting. Guys, what do you mean by a monologue? Monologue means a single a person talking or telling something. It could be like a disease condition, or he'll be telling something regarding a health topic, but there won't be another person to take the conversation and to give the answers, but it will be a talk by a single person. That is called a monologue. Or you can get a dialogue, where a nurse is talking to a health professional, or nurse is talking to a doctor, nurse is talking to a patient is talking to a patient, a hospital manager talking to the nurses, a senior nurse talking to her colleague. So these are the kinds of dialogue that you can get strictly related to a health topic under a preferred health setting. Clear? And what kind of questions that you get? So part A, we have already mentioned that we get fill in the blanks type of question, and we need to fill the blanks using a exact word or a phrase exactly how you listen in your audio. But when you come to part B, there is a change. Look at what kind of questions that you get. We get multiple choice questions, and you get multiple choice questions with 3 different options. So if I elaborate it, the total number of questions that you get is 6, and for each question you get a multiple choice, which means 6 different monologues, and based on the 6 different monologues you get 6 different questions. For example, for question number 25 you hear a monologue or a dialogue. Following that you get a question. After that the audio ends, then starts question number 26, where you listen another conversation. From that conversation you get another question. Okay, so 6 different monologues, dialogues, and 6 different questions. Okay, yes. And what is the type of question that you get? It is multiple choice questions. And what do you mean by multiple choice question? Based on your listening, you will be given a question, and for answering that question you will be given 3 different options, and from that option you need to select and mark the correct answer. So that is called multiple choice questions. And regarding what kind of question that you get for part B, you can get 3 type of question. One, they are asking about the gist means the summary. The next, they are asking what is the detail regarding the conversation, and we'll go some discussion for that. And the third type of question that you get, what is the course of action or course of the action done. Okay, so when we go for the first type of question regarding the gist, what is the usual question that you get? What they are discussing. Sometimes you hear a discussion between a nurse and a patient, or nurse and a doctor. Based on that question, you might get a question what they are discussing. Okay, and in such type of question, who are the members that will be involved in that conversation? It could be a doctor, hospital manager, or a nurse. Okay, so these are just kind of questions, or what is the entire summary, or what is the content of their conversation. And the next type of question that you can get is regarding the detail, regarding the detailing type of question. And an example of a question that you can get for that section is, what is the concern? What is the major concern expressed by the patient? What is the major concern expressed by the nurse? What is the major problem that expressed by the doctor? These kinds of things that you can get, and the answer will be related to, or that question will be related to, what could be a major symptom, what is the major reason for the concern, and that could be, and what is the major solution that you can get. So these are the 3 type of questions that you may get regarding the question type or detail, where you are asked such a question like, what is the concern? And regarding the third type of question that you can get for part B, or in kinds of MCQ type of questions, is regarding what is the course of action. What is the course of action, which means what needs to be done. Okay, sometimes you hear a conversation between a nurse and a doctor. Sometimes a nurse is telephoning the doctor and she is summarizing the patient's past medical history or her present medical condition, and she's asking an advice to the doctor, what is need to be done, what type of medication that I need to do, what is the immediate action that I need to take, how can I proceed with the patient regarding the change of medication. So these kinds of questions, what is something that I need to do or what action that I need to do, that will be made as a question for the question formats like course of action. And in that particular case, the conversation will be majorly made by a nurse, doctor, or a manager. Okay, so these are the three types, and these are the types of questions that you get for multiple choice questions. They will be asking regarding a gist or the summary or the entire purpose of that particular thing. Next will be regarding the detail of that audio, and the third kind will be the course of action. Okay, so these are the ways by which you get a question for part B. I hope that is also clear to you. Okay. So now we will move to the next slide, where we will introduce the exam format for the part B. How is the format, how it appears on your exam booklet. Okay, so it is about the exam format of part B. Okay, so regarding the exam format of part B, first will be the introduction of the topic. How it is, for example, it could be question number 25. They will be given an introduction, who's talking and regarding what. For example, you listen to a conversation between a nurse and a doctor in an emergency department. So this is the introduction that you can get. You can understand the two persons involved in your conversation. One is a nurse and the other is a doctor, and which is the healthcare setting. It could be an emergency department or it could be something else. So it will be the introduction that will be given. So that is the first thing that you get when you go for part B. They will introduce the topic, and we have discussed something in part A. What was that? Before the audio starts, in order to get familiar with the extract or description, you will be given some seconds to read the questions or the description. In part A, it was 30 seconds. But in part B, it is not 30, but look at the second point, 15 seconds to read the questions and options. What does that mean? They will introduce that particular thing. You hear a conversation or you hear a talk between a nurse and a doctor in some healthcare setting, in emergency department or in an emergency ward or something. After the introduction of the topic, you will be given 15 seconds. Why? After that, you'll be given the questions, what is the main concern or what they are discussing or what is something that they need to be done, and be given 3 options. To read the question and to read the 3 option, you will be given 15 seconds. Okay, after that 15 seconds, just like in part A, you'll be given a beep sound which indicates that they are going to start the audio, and then you can listen to the audio and mark the answer. So for part A, it was 30 seconds, but for part B, it is 15 seconds. Okay, so 15 seconds to read the questions and options. And look at the third point, understand the main part of the audio. What does that mean? In the previous slide, we have mentioned that it could be like, what is a major concern? Okay, so what is a major concern expressed by the nurse or expressed by the patient, expressed by the doctor or something, or expressed by something. So that is the crux of the question. Okay, they'll be discussing many things in that audio, but what is our question? The question is so specific, that is, what is the concern? So we need to understand, or we need to give our focus where they are discussing regarding the concern, where are discussing their worries, or where are discussing their problems. So that is the part where we need to provide our attention to, or that is the part where we need to provide our concentration to. So based on the question, focus on in which area or from which area of the audio they are framing the question, give a particular focus on that particular thing and choose the answer. That is called understand the main part of the audio. And look at the fourth point. As I've already mentioned, it is an MCQ type of question with 3 possible answers. But unfortunately, we all knew that in an MCQ type of question, whatever be the number of options, we won't be getting a list of answers. There will be only one answer. So in that 3 possible options, eliminate 2 of the options and select the best answer that you find from the audio. So that is 3 possible answers. And fifth point, select the correct answer. Select the correct answer and then mark your answer on your answer booklet. So this is the exam format for part B, introduction of the topic, 15 seconds to get familiar with the questions and the options. Then listen to the audio based on the question, understand the main part of the audio, look at the options, eliminate the two possible wrong answers and select the best possible answer and go for the and mark the answers. So this is the exam format and the introduction for part B. 6 questions, 6 different monologues or dialogue type of question, multiple choice questions with 3 options. One will be the correct answer. Understand, listen to the audio, read the question and options. For that you have 15 seconds. After that, listen to the audio and locate the main part, understand the main part and select the major option by eliminating the rest of the 2 wrong options. And this is the way you go for part B. And this is the introduction for part B and how the exam format comes. Stories of Kuppus, answer small little ano start cheyendadu. I think you are asking regarding part A, right? Please use the chat box. In part B, there is no need for us to write the answer. For part B, we are selecting options only. So in part B, we are not going to write the answer, but we are only selecting the answer. But for part A, see, what is the thing? If the dash is there on the beginning of that particular thing, if it is after a full stop, in a normal format, we start with the capital letters. Okay, when we write the name of a country, name of a person, make sure that you go with the capital letter. For others, you can use the small letter. Okay. Only make sure that don't use these kinds of short forms. If the mark or if the word that you have to write is hypertension, just don't go for HTN. You have to write it as hypertension itself. So don't go for short forms. Clear? Stories of Kuppus. If that is clear, can you please give me an S on your chat box? Okay, I hope that is clear to you for. Okay, so we have completed we have introduced part A, number of questions and what is the exam format of part A. And we have completed part B, we have given the introduction and we have just discussed how the exam format appears. Okay, yes. And now we'll move to the last session, which is part C. Okay, we'll move to the next slide and we will quickly discuss. We'll give a short introduction regarding part C and how and what is the exam format. Okay. Okay, so we'll recall what we have told just now. 42 questions, part A 24, part B 6. So that makes a total of 30. 24 plus 6, 30. And the remaining questions are distributed in our part C section. So total number of questions 42, part A plus part B we get 30. So the remaining 12 questions are there in part C. Clear? So look at the first point, the number of questions that you get for part C, 12. And there's a slight changes when you compare part B and part C. Okay. In part A, we have told that we have 24 questions which are divided into 2 extracts. First extract 12 questions and the next extract we have another 12 questions. So similarly, we have a division in part C. We have a total of 12 questions, but that 12 questions are divided into 2. Okay, that 12 questions are divided into 2, 6 questions each. So the first section of part C, you get 6 questions. After that, you get another section where you have another 6 questions. So we have entered in 30 in question number 30 in part B. So the first section of part C starts from 31 to 36. Question 31 to 36, the first set of 6 questions. And after that, you have another extract where you get the remaining questions from 37 to 42. Clear? Total 12 questions divided into 2 parts. The first part contains the first set of 6 questions and the next part contains the remaining 6 questions. Okay, and for that first extract, which I already mentioned, from question number 31 to 36, you get audio. After that, that audio ends and you'll be given a next audio or you'll be given a fresh audio where you get the remaining 37 to 42 questions, which means audio. For that audio, you get the first 6 questions. After that, you get another audio which has no relation with the first audio. You'll be getting a different audio for the next extract where you get the remaining set of questions. Okay, so what is the nutshell? 2 audio, two sets of questions, 6 each. Okay, so number of questions 12, 2 extracts, 6 question each. And similar to part B, what kind of question that you get? It is a multiple choice questions with 3 options. So something that is similar to part B, right? In part B also you get a multiple choice question with 3 different options, and for part B also you get a multiple choice questions with 3 options. But when we come to part B and part C, in part B regarding the dialogue, it is a short audio, which means you'll be given a audio which lasts about 1 to 1.5 seconds or 1.5 minutes, 1 minute to 1.5 minutes. Based on that small audio, you get 6 different questions. Okay, but when you come to part C, there is a difference. It is not that small audio. The audio will be something bigger. It will be like about 4 to 5 minutes, 6 to 7 minutes would be audio. So based on that large audio, you need to locate, or you need to understand, or you need to answer the 6 questions. Clear? Okay, so such like you get 2 different audios for question number 31 to 36 and for question number 37 to 42. And what kind of audio that you get? Yeah, it will be strictly related to a medical health topic, but what is the content? Look at the third point. It could be a long presentation or interview. I think you guys know what you mean by an interview. Interview means a health professional will be sitting on the other side and there will be an interviewer and he'll be asking questions. Based on the interview, you'll be getting the questions. And what do you mean by a presentation? Presentation means it could be a doctor, or it could be any health professional, or any person who is related to health. He'll be given a presentation regarding a health topic. It could be a disease, or it could be some achievement, or it could be a research paper on which he had done. So he'll be given a presentation. So there won't be having any other person to receive or to take the conversation. He'll be giving a presentation by himself. Based on the presentation, you need to tackle the answers. So it could be either a presentation by a single person, or it could be an interview where there is another person involved to share and answer and to ask your questions. Okay, so this is how a long presentation or interviews. And identify the detailed meaning and the opinion. So regarding that particular thing, when an interviewer asks a question or when a presentation is presented by another person, what they are majorly expressing, they will be expressing their views, they will be expressing their opinion, or they will be expressing their perspective. So that's where something that we need to place our focus. So identify the detailed meaning. What is the meaning, or what is the description of what they are conveying, or what is the main idea they are conveying, and we need to have a specific focus on, or we need to have a special attention on the opinion or the perception of the person who is involved in your talking. Okay, so he'll be giving his perception when he's going for an interview, or he'll be giving his own perceptions when he's giving answer to someone's question. So that is where we need to place our focus. So identify the detailed meaning and opinion. And look at the next option. Questions appear in the order of the information in the text, need not go back to the previous para. What does that mean? For example, the interviewer asking a question, he'll be asking a set of 7 questions. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He'll be having an order, and the question will appear in the same order. Okay, so they won't be having any look back, which means they need not go back to the previous para, which means he will be asking that particular thing one by one. So the question will also follow the same order in which the question is asked, or the question will also follow the same order in which the presentation is going on. A presentation means he'll be telling something, he'll be introducing a topic, and he'll be telling what are the things that he had done, or what are the challenges that he had faced, and what are the future of his particular research. So there is an order. There is an order of the topic that he's introducing. Introduction, the next thing, the body paragraph. In that body, he'll be telling many other things. So that will be in the same order, and the questions will follow the same thing. Okay, so that is something that you mean by the questions appear in the order of the information in the text, need not go back to the previous para. So this is the introduction and something that which I need to give for part C. And now we'll look at the next slide, where we will go for the exam format. We'll be going for the exam format of part C. Look at the next slide. Okay, regarding the exam format, there is no much difference. There is only a slight difference. The first is the introduction of the topic. What do you mean by the introduction of the topic? Who is talking, whether it is an interview or whether it is a presentation, and to whom you are taking the interview, or who is presenting the that particular presentation, and in what context, or what will be the topic of main discussion. So everything will be given as an introduction. So before starting the audio, you will be given an introduction regarding what is the topic or what is something that they are going to talk, who is talking, and other details. So that is called the introduction of the topic. Here comes the change from part B. Look at option the point number 2, 90 seconds to read the question answer and the answer options. For part A, it was 30 seconds, and for part B, it was 15 seconds. But when you come to part C, it is 90 seconds. Why 90 seconds? Why 90 seconds? Because you have a single audio, and from that single audio, you need to take 6 questions, question number 31 to 36, and question number 37 to another audio with question number 37 and 42. Okay, for part B, for question number 25, you hear a short audio and you need to take the answer. From that, the audio stops. Then you have a next audio. Here, there is no such thing. The audio is going continuously without any breaks. From that particular thing, we need to take the first 6 questions and the next 6 questions. So for that, we need to read the entire questions from question number 31 to 36, 31st question, 3 options, 32nd questions, 3 options. Like that, we need to read the 36th questions and the 3 options. To read that entire questions along with their options, you won't be getting, so you won't be it won't be possible for you to complete it with 15 seconds. For that, you are giving 90 seconds. Okay, so 90 seconds to read the entire questions from 31 to 36. After that, when the next audio starts for the next section, you'll be given another 90 seconds to read the questions from 37 to 42. For each 6 sets, you'll be given 90 seconds to read. Okay, 90 seconds to read the question and the answer options. And the same thing, understand the main part of the audio, something which I have already mentioned when we were discussing part B. MCQ type of questions, so 3 possible answers, and based on your listening, understand the question, what is the major crux or what is the major content is asked as or framed as a question. Focus on that particular thing, focus on the word or focus on the major subject of the question, listen to the audio, eliminate the 2 options that you feel wrong and correct, and select the best possible answer. So 3 possible options, mark the best and mark it in your answer booklet. So this is the exam format when you come to part C. So there is some similarity between part B and part C. The question format or the type of question asked is same, multiple choice questions with the same option, but regarding the audio, the continuation of the audio, then the time that you get to get familiar with the questions, these are the things that you have some changes. But the major change or the major difference happens in part A. Here the format changes. It is kind of fill in the blanks type of question where we need to write something. In part A, we need to write something, and for part B and C, there's no need to write anything, but we are marking the answer. Okay, so this is the entire description or the introduction and the exam format for the listening module for OET. If I recall, we will wrap it up in 1 to 2 minutes. The total number of questions, we have 42, and the maximum time that you get is 45, divided into 3 sections, part A, part B and part C. Part A contains 24 questions, divided into 2 extracts, first 12 questions, the next set of 12 questions, the mode of answering, fill in the blanks type of question, fill using a word or a phrase, exactly how you listen in your audio. And the maximum time that you get to read or to get familiar with the extract is 30 seconds. And when you come to part B, there are the system or the structuring changes. 6 questions. For that, you get 6 different audio. It could be a dialogue or it could be a monologue under a preferred setting. And for each audio, you get each question. So 6 audio, 6 different questions. What is the type of question? Multiple choice questions along with 3 options. Eliminate two of the option and get the correct mark the correct answer. To get familiar with the question, we get not 30 seconds. Here we get 15 seconds. Okay, and the three type of question that you get, this could be a gist, or it could be a detail or regarding the course of action, where someone will be talking or two persons will be talking in a preferred health setting. And when you come to part C, the remaining number of questions, 12, divided into two parts. The first section contains 6, 31 to 36. The next section contains the next 6, 37 to 42, and for the first set you will listen either to a long presentation or an interview, or in the next we will be listening either an interview or a presentation. And in order to get familiar with the first 6 questions or the next 6 questions, for each extract you will be given 90 seconds to get familiar with the question and the answers. Then focus after that beep sound. You'll be starting with the audio. After getting the introduction, we'll be starting or we'll be going to the audio. Listen to the audio, understand the major crux or the major part is being asked as the question, and eliminate 2 of the option and mark the correct answer. Okay, and this is something that that I can give in today's live or to you regarding the session called reading. And I hope the introduction and the exam format for each section, part A, part B, and part C, is clear to you. I hope the session was informative and it was worth watching for all of you. And we'll be with much more live in our future days or for our coming days. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining, and we'll be winding up the session now. And this is how we run our classes. And from IILT, I'm Hariyam Krishna, and we assure you that we provide quality classes for your OET. And let's follow us and join us. We assure you complete help and support from our side. Okay, so have a nice day. Thank you. Have a good day.